Let's see, hit record. Cool. We're recording. This can be edited out right here.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to the Scottiverse interviews. Today I'm interviewing a good friend of mine, Alomar White. He is a very interesting individual and hopefully you will find him as interesting as I do. He is the owner, operator, mainstream leader of Fokologii on Instagram. Fokologii, Fokologii, Instagram. I invited him on today because he's becoming very quickly becoming a great motivational speaker, and he's so positive and he's so out there, and other people are picking up on his messages so quickly that it inspires me to do more. So I wanted to have him on just to have a conversation about himself and see what we can't learn about him, what you guys can't learn about him, and hopefully we can make Fokologii grow a little bit more. So, Alomar, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And like I said, I already blew a lot of smoke real quickly there, but no, man, I've seen, we've worked together in the past, and we run kind of in the same group of friends. Mm-hmm. But I was thinking about this. Me and you have never really had just a sit-down, me-you, man-to-man conversation.
Right.
And it saddens me, but it also kind of motivates me that I came across your Instagram page, and I see how positive you are and the influence you're already having on people. And then that really motivated me to have this conversation. And like I told you, it's woken me up the past 2 nights. I'm so excited to talk to you about all this.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So, real quickly, just give us a quick rundown of your backstory, who you are, where you came from, and just kind of get us to now. Let's not go too far into Fokologii because we'll cover that a little bit more.
Okay. So originally, I'm from East Orange, New Jersey, more of like the urban area, most will call it. I was born in Newark, grew up in East Orange, also lived in Florida for a year. Then I moved back to Pennsylvania. So I grew up with my mom and primarily my stepdad, but my biological dad was still in the picture, but he's in the military, so deployed and everything like that. Things didn't work out. He did his last tour in 2008 or 2010. We lost contact a little bit because he had some things happen while he was in deployed, and it's a little baby that there.
This is a kid-friendly show, so that's great. We welcome it.
So we lost a little contact around 2008 because my mom and dad are like they're best friends. Mm-hmm. Things just didn't work out relationship-wise. So his family loves my mom, and they reached out to my mom at some point in 2008, and I was like, "Hey, have you guys been in contact?" And she's like, "No, we lost contact." So I went to visit in 2008. I was living in Piscataway, New Jersey at that time. Went visit 2008, another summer 2009, 2010. I decided I wanted to move down there because I always wanted to go to the University of Florida. I was playing football. So I was like, all right, bet. This is a great opportunity to go down there, get seen and everything. So I was like, all right, bet. I'll go down there. My dad worked for the Federal Bureau of Prisons. So he's pretty much a correction officer, but at a higher tier. Then he got a job in California. So then at that time where I left, my mom and my stepdad were getting a divorce. So that was kind of rough on her. And this is about the time Fokologii came about.
Okay.
So I went down to Florida. They were going through the divorce. My mom moved to Georgia, but then the divorce, it was too much for her to go back and forth, go to court and stuff. So she moved out to Pennsylvania where my grandmother lived. After my dad left, I was only in Florida for a year. I was living with my stepmom at the time. Then I decided to move back with my mom to help with my little younger siblings and everything. And then we didn't like it in Pennsylvania. So we're going to move back to Georgia because my mom enjoyed it. We're back to Georgia, but I wanted to go back to Florida so I could finish high school. I go back to Florida, finish my senior year. As soon as I graduated, I moved to Georgia with my mom. I always had the ambition to go to join the military, but I wanted to go to college first. I just wanted to get my education. But that didn't work out, obviously. There was a school that wanted me to play for them in Greensboro, North Carolina, but it was a D3 school. So
And you're way better
no
than
athletic
D3.
scholarship.
Yeah.
And there's no athletic scholarships. I got a few academic scholarships and some Pell Grant from through FAFSA and stuff, but it wasn't enough to cover a private D3 school.
Gotcha.
So I just, military came first.
Gotcha. So let me kind of stop because first of all, fundamentally, you said you don't like Pennsylvania. That is where Yingling comes from. So you're wrong.
No, I don't. It's not that I don't like Pennsylvania. I didn't like the part of Pennsylvania I was in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're playing football, kind of looking, college scholarships. What position did you play, man?
So over the 12 years that I played,
what was your primary that you were most drawn to?
So, going to 3 different high schools.
Yeah.
They kind of switched. So freshman year, I was middle linebacker and fullback. Sophomore year, I was a wingback and outside linebacker. Junior year was fullback and outside linebacker. And then senior year, I was outside linebacker and fullback or wingback. So primarily wingback and middle linebacker.
I guess it.
We're all with that.
Yeah, man. I always wanted to be a starting defensive tackle. I never really made it past the bench. So, Coach.
Right. Everybody has their place.
Exactly. Yeah, I was great at sitting on that bench. Coach, he did his best to build me up, but man, I didn't have the same mindset back then that I do nowadays. I was a weaker individual in high school than I am today. But the fact that you were able to do, football and actually look at D3 schools and everything is incredible. I'm not sorry that you didn't go to college because you got to come the right route. We're enlisted. We're better than the O's. We know it.
I
haven't had a single O on the show yet. I've invited 2 of them on. They both said no. So
that says a lot.
It does. And everybody else that I have interviewed so far has either been enlisted or direct ties to enlisted. So we're better.
It was easy.
So coming into the military, was it up in the air? Like, did you know right out the gate Air Force, or did you kind of bat around and see where you wanted to land?
So in high school, I did ROTC all 4 years, 3 of which were Air Force and 1 was Army. Okay. And I've always been like, because I was in high school, I was ignorant about how the branches work. So I was always Army or Marines because I want to stay on the ground. I want to fight on my feet. If Air Force, if something, God forbid, something were to happen, I'd rather be on the ground than be in the sky. But then after I got smarter, I started doing research and everything. I was like, oh, everyone isn't a pilot.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. And I knew Air Force because of the opportunity or the encouragement of going to school. And I knew I would have a better chance of experience and exploring the world as I'm here at Moody for 7 years, or 6 years. But, I still have opportunities to still go other places. So it's all good. So after I got smart, because my mom was going to go in the Air Force. My dad, like I said, was in the Army, and he was like, "Go Air Force." Yeah. My mom had a scholarship to go to the Air Force Academy, but she had me, so she kind of turned it down. But
that'll happen.
Yeah. So I was like, all right, Air Force it is.
Yep.
We're going to get after it.
Okay. So let's see. You said you've been here for 6 years. So you came in the Air Force around 2013 timeframe?
I came in December 2013. I was quick with the math. Quick with the maths.
I'm not that quick, but I was already a staff sergeant for a few years at that point. So do that math.
Okay.
Yeah. That's another story for another day. So you come in the Air Force. Did you know what security forces was, or?
My recruiter was actually security forces.
So he's a good liar.
It was. I wanted to do something that I could use on the outside. Mm-hmm. So I was thinking more of the medical field. So I had like pharmacy, pharmaceutical tech. I thought about PJ, but security forces, the way he hyped it up, he's like, you know, the things that I've been able to do. He was a Raven, and he's like, yeah, we get to do this and that, all this cool stuff. I was like, okay, bet. I was like, this sounds like something I would actually enjoy. So I put that on my list, and I didn't want to wait anymore because I was so used to, all right, you have summer off, August, so you start school again.
Yep.
Let's keep rolling. And I'm somebody that I just gotta keep it going.
You gotta have a drive, motivation to go. Yep, I get it.
Yeah. So if I would have waited for the medical positions, I would have had to wait another year. So I really wasn't supposed to go to tech school or to basic until April of 2014. My recruiter calls me in December. So I graduated in May. I was coaching football in the meantime over the summer and then fall. My recruiter was like, yeah, I got a spot for you in April. I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna get a job then or something. My mom was like, nah, you're not getting a job because you don't need to get stuck in this, you know, city life and everything. Yeah. You need to focus on that. I'm like, well, I'm bored and I don't got nothing to do. So I need something to keep me going. And then December 7th, 2013, he called me at like 10 o'clock in the morning. I'm just waking up out of bed. He's like, or actually his call woke me up.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, I got a slot leaving December 10th. I was like next week, December 10th?
That's like 3 days, man.
Yeah. I'm like, next week, December 10th? He's like, yeah. And he's like, I was like, shoot, all right, bet. I run upstairs, tell my mom. And she starts crying immediately. My recruiter. She starts crying immediately.
Moms are good for that. My mom still cries. So
yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
And then my recruiter's like, Mom, I got a slot for him to leave next week, and you better not say no. And my mom's sobbing. She's like, I'm not. And then I left December 9th.
Man.
Starting December 10th, and then everything was history after that.
That's absolutely completely wild, man. So, okay. So then you go through, we're not going to get into all the basic training, security forces, tech school. That's just, that's blasé. So, I mean, knowing you're an A-type personality. I'm assuming that you kind of are a lead role and stuff, and then you get to Moody, your first base. Were you kind of drinking the Air Force sauce at this point? Was Fokologii, I mean, let's get into Fokologii. We'll back up and forget that last bit. So you get through basic training in tech school. Fokologii, was that something on your mind to grow, or were you still more concentrating on your Air Force career right now?
Well, so Fokologii was more of, at that point, our way of life.
Mm-hmm. You and your mother's.
Right. So, yeah. So, like I said, they were going through the divorce. I was separated from them, and my mom was also sick. She had been out of work at that point for 2 years at that point.
Okay.
So she wasn't working. So we're obviously and my mom's also like the A-type person that she needs things to do.
Yeah.
So she wasn't able to work. So it was hard on her. She had some medical issues that put her out of work, permanently disabled. So it was rough on that. Mm-hmm. Then the whole divorce came through. I wasn't there and everything. So Fokologii was just for us to think back on, to say, okay, regardless of what we're going through, we're going to, think back on this, and this is what's going to keep us going.
Okay. And I just had a thought. I know we've been saying Fokologii a lot. I don't think we've actually said what the acronym means.
What it means.
Yeah. No, so go ahead and say it nice and slow, because it's quick. What is Fokologii between you and your mother?
So Fokologii, it actually had different meanings before we got to this. So
okay.
It was Fokologii. It was just, or at first it was just focus, the study of focusing. Okay. Because, ology is the study of, like biology is the study of, the body and stuff. So, and then focus, we took the K out because we just wanted to be unique like that. Or the C out and added the K, sorry. Because we just wanted to be unique. And then we put it together. So it was focus, the study of focusing. Mm-hmm. And then actually while I was in basic, my mom was like, hey, what do you think? She wrote me a letter saying, hey, what do you think about this? And then it became focused on knowledge. Overcome letdowns and obstacles. God improves ideas. So Fokologii. And then that's what it became, and it stuck. I was like, okay, cool. We kind of had the idea of making it into a brand or, you know, pushing it. So in 2010 was the first time I made a hoodie.
Okay.
We made a hoodie using a custom ink or something, and it just had Fokologii founders on it, established in 2010. So her and I had a hoodie. Took a little break off of that. And then, I made that in 2014, but we came out with it in 2010. I made the hoodie in 2014-ish.
Plus or minus a year. That's
yeah. And then it was just our way of life. It was just kind of just, you know, her and I and our family kind of thing. And then I was like, damn, I want to make it. We always had the idea of making it bigger, just never pressed the gas on it. In 2018, on my last deployment, I was literally sitting. I think I was one of the patrols in Iraq, and I literally was just sitting there thinking, like, how can I make this? Or actually, I wasn't thinking. Honestly, I was just sitting there looking at a dark space.
Did you replace me in Iraq?
I did.
Okay.
And, yeah, I did.
Okay. All right.
So
wild.
Yes, I did, because we did that exchange when I first got there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, I'm thinking, and I honestly, this is my notebook. So my wife got me this notebook to write down all my ideas of, you know, whatever I have.
Yeah.
And I wrote down right here. I just started jotting things down. Actually, on my phone, I just started jotting things down as they came to mind. I was like, oh, Instagram page. Yep. That's a great way, because I listened to like Gary Vee, Eric Thomas, some of, you know, Will Smith's and Dwayne Johnson's motivation and stuff. So I was like, well, you know, like, how are they doing it? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was like, Instagram is perfect.
And we all know it's working for Dwayne Johnson, because he's the number 3 presidential selectee right now.
Yeah. So, and I was like, and at that point, I wasn't like out in front of your face. I need to post everything, every moment of my life kind of person yet. But I was sitting there. Actually, I have it right down. December 4th, 2007 at 0500 in Iraq. That's funny. And that's when I came up with the idea of doing Instagram. Just post motivational quotes or videos and stuff. And I started writing down what I can talk about. That way I can just push my motivation to other people and try to get them, you know, in the positive mindset, optimism, and everything like that, because there's a lot of negativity in the world, and that's just the reality of it.
You're not wrong about that, man.
But I came back and I didn't do anything with it. I had all these notes and I did nothing with it.
Because you have all that downtime to make notes, and then you get back to the world and you get distracted.
Right, and nothing happens. So I was like, okay, I want to post, but I was trying to figure out, how can I be perfect? How can I do this in a perfect sense?
Oh, yeah.
So, and that was really difficult. So I was like, you know what? Bump it. I went and I had to do a couple of things for logos. I couldn't figure out what I wanted at first. I just wanted to capture everything in one image. And that was kind of difficult to do, excuse me. Yeah. So I got the image and I was like, okay, cool. And that was about August timeframe of 2018. Okay. So almost a year is already here. Yeah. Since I came up with the idea, right? And then my wife's like, today, or it was in October, I think. She's like, you need to post anything. Just post something, because I made the Instagram page and everything, and it was just sitting there. Yeah. She's like, you need to post. I was like, all right, you're right. And I posted one, and then I just started posting a bunch of random things. Yep. And then as the years kept going, I was like, okay, this needs to be more organized. Yes. So we started coming up with the trend that we have now. I started doing like my fitness stuff, we put on there. I had some talking videos. Then I was like, maybe I can just post words at the same time. I was like, well, recently someone was like, maybe you should post more videos of you talking. It actually elaborates on the message and gets it across better. I was okay, maybe I do need to look at doing that again more. the apparel came when I was like, okay, I want to just get this out. So I, got the LLC.
Mm-hmm.
I got the website and everything, and I started pushing up there. I kind of tell the story a little bit on the website, which is just Fokologii.com.
There you
go. And it's just up there. There's a little snippet of the story, and I got a few things up there. And that's something I put out there, but I also have been a little lax on trying to focus on other things as well. I'm just trying to do multiple things at one time, which is crazy.
It is hard. It's hard to juggle all that, right?
Is. Yeah. So, but I do have this shirt that I just got made.
And I like it. Tell me about the hands.
College shirt.
The first thing I see is the hands, opened up, and the thumbs are actually like backwards. Is it supposed to be that way?
Well, so it's supposed to kind of be like this.
Okay.
As if you're holding something. So there's like a book here.
Gotcha.
So the hands are holding the book. So the hands are. Yep. The hands are the God, like kind of praying to God in a sense, or like hands to the higher power kind of thing. There's a book, so for knowledge, and then the light bulb and the lightning bolts are kind of like God improving the ideas based on the knowledge and stuff that you get. And also like the lightning bolts could also be the obstacles and stuff that you're going through.
Oh, yeah, I did actually. I want one of those before I leave on Wednesday. Whatever I have to do, let me know. But I really enjoy that, and man, I just my hairs are standing up. I'm not joking, guys. If you're not watching on video, I just got goosebumps. Because I agree with it, and I think God's an incredible power, and we can get to that in a minute. So you start building this brand. You have your website, and you have your Instagram. You said what really drew me in was when I started seeing your videos. I know you as a person, so I saw you posting these little, you're better than this type posts on Instagram. But when I saw your videos, and I mean, it's almost like you're pouring yourself out, you're putting yourself out there and just, you're saying what you think and what you believe. And there's such conviction in it that it just grabbed me and pulled me in. Is that hard for you to do? Because this is my 5th podcast and I'm still struggling doing this, but man, you go out there on Instagram and it is just like, it is heartfelt. It is straight to your soul.
So honestly, like that, that's what actually allows me, like being passionate about it allows me to do that. Yeah. Because I'm not a person that I don't like hearing my own voice, first of all.
I've never listened to my own podcast. I will never listen to my own podcast.
I don't like hearing my own voice. And I think it's weird talking to a phone.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it was very weird for me to start that off at first.
Okay.
And I mean, it still is, 2 years later, it still is. So, but when it's a topic that I am passionate about, it's easier for me to converse about it, because otherwise it's just like, you know what I mean? So it's a lot easier that way. It's when it's something that I can relate to personally, and it's not just something somebody else posted or something somebody else is talking about, when it's something that I actually feel. And a lot of my posts, believe it or not, are in a way like messages to myself.
Yeah.
They're messages to myself because, the things that I've gone through, it's like a reminder to myself, like, all right, you can continue to do this. I mean, because granted, like we all have positive mindsets, but we have those days where it's like, it's a little questionable, right? So it is me talking to myself, but at the same time, allowing other people to talk to themselves in that manner. And it's me also talking to them to inspire them to grind and keep doing what they're doing or trying to get where they want to be.
And man, I think you're doing a great job with those videos. I don't want to get too far into whatever your recipe is. If you sit down and think about them, or if it's just all off the sleeve, whatever it is, don't change that because it's working. I've seen some of your posts on other Instagram pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, so are these people soliciting you? Are you soliciting them? How is that coming about? Are you humbled by the fact that these people want to hear your words, or?
Yeah. So they asked me to send them videos or they'll say, I like this video, I like this one, I like this one. I'm like, okay. And they asked me to send it to them so they can share because they feel that it's powerful.
Yeah.
So they asked me to send it to them so they can share. And I am humbled by it because it's like, wow, you're asking me?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's so many other things or so many other resources that they can use for their, for their page. And it's like, you're asking me.
Me? Yeah.
Like me? So it definitely, it wakes me up as well. It's like, you can't stop doing this because no matter the interaction that you're getting on Instagram or that you're not getting on Instagram, people are still watching. You know what I mean? People are still encouraged by whatever you post.
Okay. So you said the interaction that you get on Instagram. I know in this day and age, there's trolls out there. Do you do you have to deal with a lot of, I mean, your Instagram page is so positive. Do you actually, are people trying to troll the positivity that you're putting out there?
So I haven't had anybody troll me on the Fokologii page.
Okay.
But I have had it on my personal page.
I may have trolled one of your photos once, but that's because I know you.
Well, yeah, that's different. Yeah. I had a random guy inbox me, or he commented on one of my pictures that I posted for like transformation or something like that, and he was like, "It's you can talk a big game, although like, what are your measurements like? You can look big in a photo. It could be photoshopped." And I'm like, "What?"
Oh, bro.
So I got my tape measure out, I measured my biceps and everything, and he's like, "Oh wow, you're a Hulk." I take back everything I said. I can't believe it. And I'm like, "Well, just stop, okay? Yeah, just stop. Like, I'm not gonna go into this with you. Like, no." But on Fokologii, no, I haven't had any trolls. I've actually been added to a few other pages. We have like a group chat where we share each other's posts in the group chat to show love to each other, which is pretty cool. And I don't know any of these people personally.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool to be a part of.
And it's amazing that doing something like this can get you to meet so many new people.
Right.
And that's, if you're still listening at this point in the podcast, that's one of my goals. So far, I'm only interviewing like friends and family, but I think there's so many neat people out there that I am willing to have a conversation with anybody. As long as it's positive or it's a good hobby that you want to share with the world, I would love to hear about it. Yeah. So write in, send me an email. I'll put an email in the link below. Hit me up. But seriously, guys, I got like 5 more episodes after this one, and then I'm out of friends. But, interesting friends. But, okay, so people hit you up on your private, Instagram, which, by the way, Alomar is a very in shape alpha male. I can't think of a better way.
I'm okay.
Yeah, he's no Glenn K. Brott, but
right.
He's been on the show, so I can say his name. But no, so people, they're trying to troll you about stepping up a big game, and you're talking about, people saying walk the walk, talk the talk. I know I don't want to go too far into your setbacks, but not too long ago, you had a pretty major life setback.
Right.
We don't have to go into details, but I mean, if you're comfortable, we can kind of talk about the fact that you were set back personally, and you've rebounded so quick. And I'm not totally in the loop. I try not to get into all this sauce, but if you want to talk about it at all, I think it is incredible that you had your mess up, you owned your mess up, and you've moved on past it very quickly.
Yeah, I mean, that by far,
the
most devastating time of my life. Even through before, joining the military, my whole family thing, that by far was the hardest part of my career, my life ever. And it was really my wife, my mentors, my friends, my close friends that really kept me afloat, because I'm normally the one that's optimistic, that's positive. It's like everything's gonna be all right. And a mantra in my head is that I always think of is it could always be worse.
Oh yeah.
So it could always be worse, because in that situation, it could have definitely been worse.
Mm-hmm.
The consequences that I endured could have been worse.
Yes.
So with that, it allowed me to, and I mean, even I made a couple jokes about it or whatever, and that's kind of how I kind of get through things as well. Because if I don't smile about it, I'm probably going to be depressed somewhere, you know?
Oh yeah.
Because what's done is done. And it's hard not to dwell on it because it was so painful. But after a while, like, you know, my friends and everything and everyone that uplifted me, I had a support system.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped a lot, because if I didn't, I don't know if I would have been able to bounce back so easily or so quickly. Yeah, so it's definitely them, and them knowing who I am. They're like, this is not you. You can't let yourself get below average, you know, average within myself, not average within a general sense, but you can't allow yourself to get below who you are. It's like, it's going to be okay. Like, your situation could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah.
But you know, you got to accept what you do have. You got to find the positivity out of the negative situation. So, I mean, that kept me going for sure.
Definitely. And then I've seen a lot of Fokologii. Did you ever touch on any of that in Fokologii? Did you pull on Fokologii and post about it? I mean, because I like I said, we're not going to throw all your sauce out there, but that's a rough thing to go through. And did Fokologii help you get through that? I know the friends were great. I talked to a lot of them every day. But did Fokologii help you? Did the Instagram page and being able to share any of that help you?
A little bit. So I did. There were a few, and that's when I say I talk to myself.
Yes.
There were a few posts that were directed to me
mm-hmm.
After the situation. They were directed to me that I put out there. What also helped was that after I did take a break off, because I needed to, you know, refocus things, and there was out of a few people that follow Fokologii, and they were like, dude, like, don't go missing again.
Yeah.
I posted a few posts, and they were like, dude, like I missed this. Like, don't stop doing this. Like, you have no idea how effective this is to people that are watching you. And I was like, bet. I was like, I can't go ghost anymore.
Yep.
Because I took a break from social media for, I think, well, a month or so, something like that.
Clear your mind, get your head right.
Yeah. And they were like, yeah, don't do that again. I was like, okay, I'll try not to. Yeah. So it definitely helped me regain my motivation, because it was just like, all right, well, other people are looking up to me without me even knowing it. So I have to keep that riding.
And that's wild, right? That's wild that people can be looking, people you've never met are starting to look up to you.
Right.
And you're getting shared across. I mean, your platform's still relatively small.
Yeah.
But you're starting to be shared on much, much larger platforms. And that's got to be an incredible feeling. It's
and it's like I said.
I hope one day I have more than 200 listeners. That's
so, and I mean, what, and there's things that I think about. It's like, when I first started, I had a lot of interaction.
Yeah.
Because I guess people were looking for it. So I had a bigger interactions, and then they kind of started dwindling down a little bit. So like, I used to have like 50 plus viewers on like my stories. Now I have like 12.
That'll happen.
But it's what keeps me focused on, or not focused on, that is, like I said, I watch Gary Vee, and he's like, don't worry about how many people follow you.
Yep.
Just put out good content, and it's about who's following you, because there could be one person out of your 200 that can change your life. And so I was like, all right, I'm gonna just keep doing this and keep posting it, and I'm just let it ride.
And that's I'm in between both of those right now, because I'm a new podcast. You're like my 5th interview. I've had 1 episode drop so far. I'm still fighting with technology to get to more platforms.
Yeah.
But I mean, I check it like every other day. I'm like, oh wow, I have 2 subscribers. One of them is the person from the first podcast. I know that for a fact. But I mean, so I kind of get caught up that I want to see people listening, but also, if nobody ever listens, just the fact that me and you got to have this conversation it's going to keep me awake for the next couple hours, just like buzzing, because it's so incredible. Let's go ahead. We're going to move in a little bit like Fokologii's future. What, 5 years, 10 years from now, are you looking to have people come in and help? Are you looking to expand it? What do you want with Fokologii 5 years, 10 years?
So, I don't know. Honestly,
good answer.
I do plan to. When I first started before I started the website, I was looking at working with a web designing company here locally.
Okay.
And then something happened. I think I was supposed to PCS, but I didn't.
That'll happen.
So, and then we reached out to them and they never got back to us. We were supposed to schedule an appointment so we can, do some things up, and that never happened. So I was like, okay, we kind of waited, we waited. Then I was like, all right, bump it. We're just going to do it. When I say we, my wife and I. So I do expect to do things better, improve, like kind of like updates on the software. So right now I did the web designing. I did the web designing by myself, and then the apparel. I put it all together. So right now it's kind of just me, and my wife does some stuff. She does like the design for my Instagram. Okay. I'll send her the quote or whatever. She makes it all pretty, and then I'll post it with whatever the caption is.
You're the knowledge, she's the face. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that's it. With the apparel, like I'll think of something, I'll put it on there. She's like, all right, yeah, I think that's dope. Or she'll like tell me like, maybe you should put it here. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'll do that. So right now it's just us just letting it flow.
Yeah.
But later, when, I'm not even gonna say if, when it gets a little bigger, yeah, I mean, it may turn into more. I think it'll be more productive if I do find something that's shipping better, or the website looks better, more organized and stuff like that. I already got some things in mind of ways to make that more organized, because right now it's, I got hoodies, I got t-shirts, and then I have like long sleeves, but it needs to be more organized. And I want to get into fitness stuff too. Yeah. So I also got to figure that out as well.
So basically you're an average guy who's incredibly positive, has a good message to share, but you're not a businessman. You're not there yet. And
I'm not there yet. No. Yeah. But I've always had the ambition to be a businessman, own my own business. Never knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah, exactly.
I've had plenty of ideas bounce in my head over the years. One point I wanted to do a mentoring organization for like younger youths. First it was just, in urban areas, less fortunate. Then it was just anywhere. I was thinking of some stuff, do some stuff with the YMCA. Yeah. Just everywhere, just everywhere.
You want to be in the community, and you want to be the positive influence that we don't have that much of nowadays, is what I'm hearing.
Exactly.
The way the world's going is that positive influence is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking. Dude. So pages like Fokologii it's so good, and it's only positivity out there, and I love it.
Right.
So
I stay away from the controversy, politics, religion, all that stuff, because it's like if I feed into that, I'm feeding into the negative vibes.
Yes.
And I don't want it. Like just like the things that's going on right now, there are some things I want to post, and I'm just like, what? Nope, I'm not gonna do it.
And that's one of the things, before, if you guys don't know, but I talked to him before we started this. I said, hey man, there's a lot of this going on, but this podcast is not to address those issues. If we touch on them, we touch on them, but I just feel that too much negativity can come of that. And I just want all the positivity that you are, and all the positivity that all my other guests have been. That's what I want to focus on, is you as an individual, not on the world doing what the world is doing.
Yeah,
So,
let it ride.
Yeah, that's them. It's just me and you right now and my 2 subscribers. Yeah. So, but no, man, I think anything you do, you're going to be successful with. I really feel that in the depths of my soul. I am quickly, I wake up in the mornings, I have my morning coffee, I do some other things, and then I generally get on Instagram, I generally get on Facebook, like every other American. And one of the pages I find myself going to more and more is Fokologii on Instagram, just to see, has he posted a message? What positive things he said, or did he just go do 30 minutes of exercise outside and he's dying? That's so. I was cracking up when I saw it, because I went for a jog the other day, dude. I ran a mile in 10 minutes. I wanted to die because it's so humid. But
man,
I saw that one. I was cracking up and dying, because you can tell. I mean, you're covered in sweat. You just had a workout, which I'm sure endorphins are flowing. You could be miserable. You could be complaining about the humidity, about the gnats. But no, man, you had a workout and you found the pros in it. And that's just great to me. Not enough people do that.
And the crazy thing about it is, like I wrote that for one of my friends. I wrote the workout.
Yeah. And
as I was writing, I was like, damn, this might be a little rough for him, because I'm not saying I'm better than anybody, but I am more fit than he is.
Yeah.
So like, this might be a little rough for him. And then now I'm doing it myself, and I'm like, if I'm dying, he must, he's gonna be dead. I know he's hurt. And I was telling my wife yesterday after I finished, I was like, I need to rewrite this. I need to rewrite this for people that are like beginners and stuff like that, because this isn't tailored for everybody. Like I said, I wrote it for him specifically. And if I want to continue to use it, because I think it's a good workout. Yeah. I want to continue to use the high intensity cardio workouts, but I need to tone it down a little bit for people that aren't as advanced.
For people like your friend. So,
yeah.
Did he do the workout?
He said he did.
Did he say mean things to you, or?
Well, when he started, he was like, yeah, that shit sucked. Excuse my language on the podcast, but he was like, that sucked. But then I checked in with him. He actually just got out of the military. So he asked me, because he was trying to, he wants to go to the police academy. He just got out. He had a PT test for it coming up. So he asked me to write him the workout, which I did. He started it. He's like, it sucked. So he's out now. I checked up on him about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and he said he's in the best shape he's been in a while.
That's awesome.
From doing that workout. So I was like, all right, bet. Okay. So I was like, I want to try it out. Let's see what kind of. Yeah, I was like, okay, let me see what I can do with this workout. Let's see how well it gets me into shape. And I'm like, this sucks. It does suck. But it's gonna make me better at the end of the day. So.
And that's why you won't see me out there doing it with you. No, I'm going to lean on the fact that I still need hip surgery as to why I'm not doing these things.
Okay. Yeah. Just make an excuse for it. It's all right.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, I need hip surgery, but I'm still running a mile plus every other day.
And there's people that don't need that, and they're not doing anything. So I commend you.
I appreciate that. I'm going to put you on the spot, because we're going to start wrapping it up. You're so good at your motivational stuff. Can you think of just a quick, this is me, this is my motivational, this is Fokologii. Just hit us with it, and a reason why we should follow you guys on Instagram. Give me some positivity, brother. That's what I want.
I mean,
give it to yourself.
Right on the spot. That helps me. Give it to myself. That helps me. Consistency. Okay. Consistency, and just go for it. And I say that because, like I said, I was pondering the podcast for Fokologii. And there's many things that I want to do. Like you're asking about the 5-10 year plan. I want to write some workouts, different level workouts and stuff. Do the podcast. There's a lot I want to do. I need to press the gas on it and be consistent. My wife and I have a YouTube page. Yesterday, I was making our intro. We started about 2 years ago. We haven't posted anything in about a year. Yesterday, I did our intro. I was like, we need to start posting more. For some reason, I can't get the video onto my laptop, though.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to figure that out.
Science.
And then that'll come up. But the podcast, like I said, I've been thinking about it for a while. And I talked to a few friends that was like, yeah, just go for it. I'm like, well, I don't know what I'm going to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. But, and then when you asked me, I was like, you know what? I need to just do it and just figure it out as I go. So I made the YouTube page. And then I put a poll up on the page. It was like, who wants to be on my first podcast?
Heck yeah.
So I have to do that, and I have to be consistent with it. I'm just press the gas and go, figure it out. And the more I get consistent with it, the better it'll be. So my message for anybody is just hit the gas and go, because what do you have to lose?
Mm-hmm.
You're starting from ground zero. So if you're starting from zero, you can only go up from there. It's not like you're at the top and you're just dwindling down. You're at the bottom. Just send it. Just full send. You should follow Fokologii just because there's nothing but positivity. If you need positivity, if you're, I'm not going to say depressed, but if you sometimes find yourself needing some motivation, that's what this page is for. If you need a message just to get you going for the day, that's what the page is for. I try to post in the morning, but sometimes it don't work that way. So I'll try to get it before the day is over, just so you can have something. It's just positive energy. That's really it. Positive energy. Motivate people that are probably sitting on their couch scrolling on Facebook with an idea in mind, or Instagram rather, with an idea in mind that they're not pushing the gas on. That's for them to say, okay, I need to go do something, no matter what it is, even if it's taking that idea and writing it down on a piece of paper. You already have taken the first step, writing it down on paper. And that's something I also need to practice, because I have a lot of ideas up here and I need to put them on paper. And that's really it. Just trying to get more people to be optimistic about things, or just to be positive in any situation, because there's a lot of people around us, especially in our line of work, that are miserable, that literally complain all day, and it drives me nuts. It drives me crazy, because I try to help them, but they don't listen. But it's okay, because other people will. And it's crazy, but just trying to push, make the world better. Yeah, that's my ultimate goal, is just to make the world better.
And man, I can't be with you more on that one. So you said consistency and positivity. I mean, what about being consistently positive? Just
right.
Go out there. I've noticed, everybody's going out with masks on. So I've made it I don't wear a mask that much, but when I do have to, if I walk past somebody in a store, I will pull my mask down 6 feet away, and I'll give them a big old smile.
Yeah.
And I'll pull my mask back up just so a lot of people just don't smile at each other. They're not being positive. And consistency, man. Yeah, just if you think you like something, what I think, if you run 9 times in a row, it becomes habit. So I can only assume other thing. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not anybody smart. But if you do something at least 9 times, it becomes consistent. It becomes your new routine. So I'm with you, man. Go out there, people. Find something that even if you don't know if you love it, go try it. Do it. You've got nothing to lose, except for drugs. Don't do drugs.
Because that could definitely be a habit.
Yeah, exactly. And then, so go out and try something and stick with it for at least 9 tries. See what happens. See if you can't build something new. Follow Fokologii. Listen to his positivity. Listen to more than one message. Maybe the first message isn't for you. Maybe it is that 7th message is the one that you need to hear that makes you go, light bulb, oh my gosh, here's my path. Positivity, share it with others. Share it with me, share it with Alomar, share it with your neighbor. There's so much negativity that we can just come together and be just say hi, good morning. Yeah. That's all it takes sometimes, and smile. Alomar's got that beautiful smile. So, if you're
only, as yours though.
well, Thanks. Hey. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start wrapping it up here. My kind of closing, I'll probably say one more thing after Alomar just because I have to. But guys, thank you so much for listening. If you're interested in following Fokologii, he's on Instagram. There is Fokologii.com. The YouTube, is YouTube also Fokologii or?
Yeah, so the YouTube is Fokologii Podcast.
Fokologii Podcast. So he is starting a podcast, people. You're hearing it. I am excited to start listening to it because I know it's only going to be just good things in my life to fill my heart and make me smile. So whenever he gets that going, you may have your podcast out before this one hits my podcast. I'm just saying, you're kind of deep. So yeah, man, do you have any final words for anybody who's still listening after 50-ish minutes?
If you are still listening, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you taking the time to listen to this, my background, this conversation, the idea of Fokologii, where it's going, where it's been. I hope you guys, follow us and get motivated to do things that you're looking forward to doing or that you have interest in doing. And just send it and be consistent.
There you go.
And stay Fokologii. That's my hashtag. Stay Fokologii.
Hashtag stay Fokologii. Consistency, positivity. Alomar, seriously, man, thank you so much for being on the show. I just got goosebumps again. Second time. I've never had goosebumps on a podcast. I've had 2 on this one with you, man. I believe in what you're doing that strongly that I'm just that happy that you were able to take your time and talk with me. Once again, if you're interested in being on the show and you have a positive message, if you have a neat hobby you want to talk about, I would love to talk with you about it. Even if we don't record, even if just talking and meeting new people, I think it's so neat. So it is, enter the Scottiverse is on Instagram. I don't even know what my YouTube is yet. I'll have to put that in the links later. So that's how well I'm doing. I think it's Scottie Don't is my YouTube. It'll be in the links below. But seriously, guys, check them out. Check out Fokologii. So much positivity. Thank you for stopping by. I hope everybody has a great day.
Yeah.
Bye.
Later.